My bad.
Seriously. Well, welcome in, boss, on behalf of myself and on behalf of Small Talks. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Don't be crying when it's all your fault. I don't care. I be chilling over there. I don't. When the fall down low, I run low and I hit. I drive slow with some splits. Rid my mind about this. I ain't never met you, babe. I must confess this. Think about you night and day. I made you breakfast.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Our bag over Small Talks, man, it's exactly what it sounds like. We want to get to know you more as an artist, want to get to know you more as a person as well. And we also want to see what you got coming in the future and everything you've got planned for us, music-wise, performance-wise, everything. So whenever you're ready, we'll go ahead and get this thing started.
Oh, yeah, I am ready.
Well, perfect, man. Well, you're fresh off of Involves. They're the fourth single off of Swindler's Love, the Swindler's Love Body.
Don't wanna be chased no more. I just wanna be alone. I hate talking to these people.
So what's the process been like for an album this person, especially something like Swindler's Love? It's so deep, it's personal, it's emotional, it's everything you've been through relationships wise and everything you've been through personally. What's the process going through in an album this deep and this personal?
So my process with this album, it's gone through like 3 different versions. Like I started it right after the Primo 98 album dropped 2 years ago. And it was about like my old relationship. And it was pretty much just about getting cheated on and just like little things like that. And just like exploring myself as a person and exploring relationships and just trying to connect on that type of base. Like the entire thing was like pretty much, I don't even know what, I guess it was just pretty much influenced by the breakup. But as time went on, it was called Swindler's Love, and it was named after like my ex, because I was like, she swindled our relationship, and I thought that was like creative and stuff. But like as time went on, I was like, I was not the fucking best person in my own relationship, and there was probably reasons why I got cheated on. Like, like as much as it sucks to get cheated on and stuff, and as much as it hurt, like I was probably doing stuff on my own time. So I wanted to like do both things, like give both sides of, I was in love, we were in love, there was a breakup, I was imperfect, she was imperfect, and then it goes into my new relationship. And then I don't know where the album's gonna go after that. It's already done, but I haven't started the new project. I've just been working on the album this entire time.
Or that is Glow Up gonna be the kind of the culmination of this whole story, the breakup, the everything that's happened beforehand, and now we're on the back half, the conclusion, the glow up, the next steps. Is that where we're headed in the next story in the Swindler's Love?
Kinda, actually.
Been a minute since a decent glow up now. While you bitches hear me speak, all you talk about, wow, you always wanna.
Glow Up is a part of this mixtape called Confess.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. And I worked on that like probably the same time I was working on Primo 98. Like it was just stuff that I never put out, and I wanted it to be like a growing up project, like about my life, just growing up and stuff. But as time went on, I kind of like grew up myself and just like kind of learned to forgive people I was talking about in the album, and like family members and all that good stuff. So I was like, I'd rather them not hear some of this stuff, and like I'll just keep this for me and like whoever like I sent it to at the time. But yeah, the mixtape is just like a rap project. I really wanted to show people that I can rap, because like the last project I dropped where I was rapping like hardcore was Primo 98, and I only really like 4 of the songs off of that album. Like,
yeah, that was my first introduction to you, man, was the Primo 98. I remember you dropped the video for Handback, and I was like, this is going to be the next thing coming out of California for sure.
Wood tip one black talk shit, get smacked, your fake deserve handbags. My palm too good for that. My palm too good for that.
Yeah, that's what, oh my gosh, the videographer for that, he hit me up. Like, I had like a couple ideas, but he was just like, I have a camera and I like your music and I like the way you perform, because that's like, we met at a performance, and he was like, let's do like 2 shots, and then we just like did 2 quick 1 shots in like a little neighborhood. Awkward as fuck. I think you can see me like looking around at cars and like the neighbors, and like I'm gesturing to everybody.
It's such a good video still. It's so much fun. It's full of all this character. It's an amazing starting point. It's gotten nothing but better since then too.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Now, speaking of performances, man, since you've been signed, you've been all over stages over there. You performed at Lake Pride, you performed at the Matrix, you're playing at the Summer and the Winter. That's next Friday, isn't it?
Yes, I am performing at the Matrix. It should be fun. I'm actually not signed anymore. I had a problem with the I don't want to get into it because I'm still friends with like one of the people, but like one of the people that was like in charge of my music was really like overbearing and was like a control freak, and we just didn't get along because I'm also a control freak. And I was like, that's what another thing was. This mixtape that I'm dropping it comes out February, but this mixtape I'm dropping was supposed to come out early summer, and then I was supposed to have Swindler's Love drop next summer, so it was like back-to-back summers. But the label was like, we want you to be like a pop star, we want you to make pop music. And I was like, okay, bet. Like, I'm already making pop music, like I'm already kind of like diving into that already.
Is that where Get It came from then?
Loyal life I always been about. It was never right, I had to find it out.
Yeah, Get It was, I don't know. Get It was I think one of the first songs that kind of put Swindler's Love together, because I had Thang and Soulmate, and then I made Get It. And then once I had Get It, I was like, oh shit, there's a story here. Because it goes from like, I just met you, and then it goes to You're my soulmate, whatever the lyrics are. And then it goes to Get It, which is a breakup song. And then it goes to Involve, which is like getting over it song. And then it goes to another song called Helpless, which is like another like, fuck, I'm doing stupid shit and I feel helpless. And then it keeps on going. And then it ends with like Soulmate and Thing, and then it just, if you put it on rewind,
then it comes right back around. Fantastic.
Exactly. Just like
it's a hell of a creative process.
Yeah. I like it. I didn't realize how long it took. Like, I always had an idea, because all I do is really listen to music. Like, if I'm driving around, like working, just listen to an album. And all I'm really doing is like just thinking of ways I can like put it back towards myself. It's hard. It kind of like sucks, because I'm like, damn, how they do that? And I'll just be listening to a song like, maybe I could do it like this, that. And then it's just like, it's not even like enjoyable to listen to like another person's song anymore, because I'm like, I can do that too, I'm better.
Well, what you been listening to recently then? What's on the playlist? What's the heavy rotation these days?
Let me check. Vince Staples comes up a lot. Like, whenever I'm at work and like I have nothing to play, like I always just put on the Summertime 06 album and Alphaville, their album, Forever Young. Perfect album, front to back. Corbin's new album, Stevie Wonder. Yeah, that's pretty much it. A lot of the times I'm just listening to like my own projects and just jotting down notes so I can give to my engineer, because he does pretty much everything now. I kind of just like come to him with an idea, and then he brings it to life.
And spitballs, and then we get Swindler's Love, then we get Confess. Now, so you've got those two projects finishing up and on the way. And I gotta ask, what happened to Empress?
Oh shit! Oh, I forgot about that shit. Wow. I mashed Confess and Empress together. So like half of the songs, or the structure kind of got fucked up, because like the mastering, like I realized some songs just work better at the end. But I mashed the songs together. The first half was supposed to be like me growing up, and then the last half was supposed to be me like building my confidence up and stuff. But now it's just like a mixtape full of like you can hear the structure and stuff, but it's not as structured as it was. Like, it starts off with a song with censored dialogue and Chloe Hotline, and then it goes to another feature, and then it just, after that, I feel like the story kind of builds. But it starts off with the confidence, and then it goes back into like the, I don't like myself, my parents don't like me.
It's all a part of the process in general. It can't always be sunshines and rainbows every day of the week. I think that, as at least from a creative and a storytelling standpoint, you got to have those ups and downs throughout the album.
That's true. That's it. That's really true. And the ups and downs, like, are hectic because the 4-month periods between each of my singles is like my downs. Because like the first like month, pretty much when like I have a single out, I'm like, oh, this is great. Like I feel cool. I feel like an artist. I'm doing stuff. Like people like me. I'm getting compliments, so I'm feeling like I'm doing something. But since I'm like pretty much like I'm an artist, I want to say I'm like an artist on off screen and on screen, but truthfully, I'm also just Waylin. And I go to work and I clean dishes and then I just like, I have to work. So I'm
multifaceted.
Not,
that's what it is.
And then like life gets in the way and then I'm just like, fuck. I start seeing like my mutuals and all these people doing great on Twitter. And like, as much as I'm proud of them, I'm like, I got stuff too. I want to do shit. And it's just
maybe half of that is just having that schedule. Well, yeah, 4 months is that's a hell of a lot of time, or maybe not, depending on what the creative process for different artists. Maybe the next step would be putting stuff out on SoundCloud, putting more stuff on SoundCloud, putting more stuff on stuff like Bandcamp, just keeping that flow going.
Yeah, I really want to like start putting more like just like little short songs out, because something that Chloe always does that like kind of inspired me was how often she drops music and shit. And she makes music like no other though, so it's like a whole different story. She probably has like fucking 10 times more albums than me and Jazz, because she's just always working on shit. But yeah, I really want to like release stuff on SoundCloud and just like become more personal and have like little things for like people to connect to, because it's too often that I feel like people don't know what I'm doing, because I don't put all the stuff I'm doing out, because I like to work on like one thing at a time now, rather than before it was like I'm gonna start a new song every single week and then like think of a new project and never get these other projects done, and like always make like the tiniest progress. But like this is the first time I've finished 2 projects like in a whole year, and like just had focused on one studio album, which is Swindler's Love. And I go into the studio every 2 weeks and I just try to finish it and up until summer. And it's almost done. I have like 3 songs to record, but yeah, it's a long progress.
You know what they say, man, you got to start 3 projects to finish one. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, it's true. Cause like, you know how like people always like say, get like an EP and then shoot, or like make like a little project and we'll like take out the songs that suck. There's like, when you make 3, you're gonna have so many songs. Like you have so many good songs and the shitty songs, and you can just turn those into one, and that's what Confess is to me. Because Confess and Empress were 2 like loose end projects that just came into one. It kind of makes sense, but sound really
sometimes
cool.
It just works out that way. At the end of the day, if it's a project you're proud of, then hey, we're gonna enjoy listening to it just as much as you're gonna enjoy putting it out. Now let me ask you, so you've always been working with Sister Dial. You've worked with him for several years now. What's it been like working with Chloe Hotline? She's becoming a much bigger name, especially over there with the Primo 98, everything going on over there. How's that been working with her?
Chloe's cool. We don't talk as much as I'd like to, but whenever we do get the chance to talk, she's just really chill. Both of them are. Like, I love talking to Jazz. Me and Jazz are like on the same fucking wavelength with fucking being all over the place. Like, I remember one night we got into like an argument about if a bridge is called a bridge or a pre-chorus, and I was wrong, but she was like, bruh, fucking like, what do you mean? And we were like back and forth like 25 minutes, and it was just like, okay, let's get back to this album.
Let's just lay it down and move it on.
But it's just like little stuff. I don't know. It feels like a family dynamic. Like I really consider Jazz like a sister, and Chloe, I'm not the closest to her. I'm not sure like how often Jazz talks to her, but I love her music. I love her work ethic. I love the way she records music, which is just freestyling like Lil Wayne, like punching in and freestyling. I think it's the hardest shit. Like the first track off of Confess, she's the hook and she has a verse on it. And oh my God, She doesn't like that she's on the chorus twice, or like she's like the chorus because I made her like the prime of the song. But it's just like she's just catchy. Like she's really talented and she's young as fuck. I think she just like turned 18 or she turned 19 now. But yeah, and Jazz, censored dialogue. Sorry, I'm used to calling her Jazz.
Names are names, people are people. It's everybody's the same.
But Jazz, she's the best. She has a really cool work ethic too. She's like focuses on one album at a time. Like it's really hard to get her into the process of writing Primo 98. And I get it now because I'm only focused on one album, so it's like not like I'm like, oh, I can do this, and that. I can also do features, which I fucking can't all the time. But yeah, they're all really cool. It's like a family dynamic. Tempest too. Tempest, Tommy, he is a king. He makes really good, like, I don't even know. It's like alternative type of music. He's just great. His music like is like heartbreak music. He's like kind of what I strive to be for like the future with like pop type of things. Because him and Chloe both have really good pop music down. Like they make great pop.
You have to send me all their handles, man. I'm gonna have to look up all of these guys if they're as good as you say they are. I trust you with half of my music racks.
What was that?
I said you're gonna have to send me all of their handles because they're half as good as you're making them up to be. They're gonna be amazing. Because I know you got a bunch of great racks.
Yeah, they're great. They're some of my favorites. It's hard to listen to like, I don't know what the right word is. Underground rappers, like a lot of mutuals, like they'll either be like okay or they'll either be really good. And I don't want to say okay. Oh yeah, okay is what they are, but my engineer's like, this sounds pretentious. You can't say that they're bad. They're learning. And I'm like, damn it, you're right.
They're in training.
Yeah, they're training. It's just like, shit. I understand, but like, people used to shit on me.
And here we are now, man. And here we are now. And speaking of, man, you've always been huge on your internet presence. Has always been a key factor in everything you've done. You've got an incredible internet footprint going on. What goes into that, man? What goes into the style of Waylin Flaza? What goes into the hair, the choices, the everything? What goes into building this persona?
That's hard. That's a hard question. With posting, it's mainly just, I don't know.
Hold that thought, man. What do you want? Sorry about that. You were saying. This is gonna be great in the video.
I don't know how I build my presence. Honestly, it's just I see like Jazz and Chloe tweeting, and I'm like, fuck, maybe I should be tweeting more. And then with posting music videos, it's just, I don't know. Like I always like to make it really collaborative. Like I always go in with like just like a base idea. Like with the Get It music video, I was like, I want to be riding a red bike. And then they're like, okay, go on. And I'm like,
like, there it is. Let's make it happen.
And then it's just like, well, I know some cool locations that I ride my bike at. And this, I'm talking about my videographer, Gabe. And we'll just like go to different locations and he'll shoot and I'll perform. And that's pretty much, oh, actually, I just thought of it. I watch a lot of WWE. Like a lot. I used to watch a lot of WWE and a lot of the presence of wrestlers, like how they carry themselves in front of the crowd and like seeing how they are, like once they like go behind the curtains, the character's just fucking gone. That's like how I feel like in front of a camera or on stage. That's where I feel like I'm actually giving all of me instead of like on Twitter. Like I feel like I'm kind of, compared to like most people, I don't share as much as I need to, you know?
Yeah, especially on something like Twitter where the unbelievable amount of oversharing that happens on that.
Yeah, and if I do overshare, sometimes I'll be like, fuck it, I'm gonna overshare and I'll just lose followers and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, it was pretty stupid to complain about that, huh?
At the end of the day, you know, that's, if it's the most genuine version of yourself, why not put that part forward too?
That's true. That's true. I don't know. One thing, I'll be honest, I focus a lot on numbers, like just in everything. Like I like if something's not performing well, I'll be like, fuck. Like I'll have it's a good and bad thing. It's like a bittersweet because it pushes me to go harder. Like involved. Like I felt like that didn't perform as well as like Get It did. Like yeah, I got good numbers and stuff, but playlisting will do that. It like I care if people are texting me and DMing me. You know, like I didn't get that type of recognition I got for Get It as I did for Involved. And with Glow Up, and I can already tell what the problem was. It was with the visuals. But with Glow Up already, like I dropped like a video. Me and my cousin were just made a day. We're gonna go to like different places, shoot some stuff, and fuck around. Like the video was just us walking across the street from like a little plaza strip mall thing to go to our car that we rented for the day, and that was the video. And I was like, that's perfect. Like it's amateurish. Like it's not angled good. Like he couldn't see me. He was just like, yeah, like a proud mom, like not even looking at the camera. And it's not angled, but I still love how it looks because it was just like, fuck it, we're gonna do this, and that's what it is. And that's kind of how the album feels since it got delayed so much. I'm like,
it's simplistic, it's genuine, it's raw, it's everything it should be.
Exactly. And I kind of feel more connected to it now too, because I had a big hand in mixing the Confess projects, and I was just like, one day I was just like, okay, I want to put out a rap album. I can't rap at the moment because I'm only making pop music. And I was like, these sound good enough. I'm going to get them mastered. And I bring them to my engineer, and then he was like, I would just take out these 3 songs. And I was like, oh, those are the songs I didn't mix, Alan.
There you go. It just works out perfect like that. It just works out perfect like that. Yeah. Well, my man, that's everything I had for you today.
Hell yeah.
Tell everybody where can they find you online? Where can they see you next? What's next for Waylin coming up in the future?
You can find me online at Waylin Flaza. Waylin Flaza everywhere.
We'll put that right up across the screen right here.
And then I'll be performing at the Prohibition. I'm not sure if I have any shows coming up after that because the pandemic is fucking hefty right now. Like I'm actually sick at the moment. Should have wore a mask for the interview, but I don't know if it's COVID. But I'm quarantining because I was at work yesterday. And I was like, fuck. But yeah,
fingers crossed for you, man.
Hopefully more performances. Doesn't look like it right now. My friend sent me a couple things that I've been like submitting my music to, so hopefully they reply to that. If not, fuck it. I'm working on my album that will be out, so hopefully I'll have performances for my album. And then after that, it's going to be a collab project with either Censored Dialogue or Ev Aragon, because that's what I'm working on after this.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, man. It's been fantastic. On behalf of myself and Small Talks, it's been a blast.